Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool.
I'm originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but I live here in Pittsburgh now with my family. Where are you from?
I am from lived in a couple places. I lived in North Carolina and New York. Yep.
That's
But now I'm
awesome.
in Virginia. Yep.
You're not too far.
Not too far. Just
That's
down the
awesome.
road a little bit from you.
Yeah. My sister just bought her first house in West Virginia. We went to go visit her over the weekend, and it was like it's pretty awesome.
Good stuff. Good
It
stuff.
was yeah, I'm so proud of
What
her.
got you in what got you into wanting the podcast?
So to be completely upfront and honest about this, I just got out of a very abusive relationship.
Oh, sorry to
Um,
hear that.
yeah, it just he's not a bad person. We just took on too many responsibilities starting a towing company, and it changed him for the worst. He was just very overwhelmed, and I am manic bipolar, and I wasn't on my meds for about 6 months. So I got just him trying to juggle taking care of me and the company. It got out of hand, and one thing led to another. So that's that. And I'm back at my mom's house right now, and I feel like I'm in my rediscovery phase. And being with him, I isolated myself from everyone and everything. I have no friends now, no life now. And I want to be able to experience that stuff again. But with my anxiety, it's kind of hard to get out there and actually socialize with people. So I'm hoping to live vicariously through my guests and their topics on this podcast. And I just want to be able to understand myself, life, and the human experience better.
It's
And
awesome.
I'm hoping to share that with everybody else and hopefully maybe even help those that don't have a voice, you know?
Yeah. What are you noticing thus far doing this? Getting good
Uh,
response?
oh man, everyone wants to be on it. Everyone, the amount of people that are like contacting me. I mean, I've contacted a bit of people too, but like the amount of people that are jazzed about being on this podcast, it's mind boggling to me. But I'm learning that I am not, I'm not like up to par with being a host yet. Because I did not realize how much goes into being a host, especially when you want stuff to be raw and authentic and original. It's I'm not the best communicator, I feel like, and I get intimidated and anxious and yeah, just awkward sometimes on certain podcasts because especially when I'm talking to somebody that is like really good at communicating and speaks very well and eloquently, I'm like, well,
But
I
you're
got a trigger's
learning though,
mouth.
but no, you're learning, you're growing, that's the
Yeah,
key. So you're
yeah,
recording now, but you'll go back and chop it all up
yeah,
and
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I just hit recording now because I don't know. I'll be honest, I've kind of been debating like the podcast now it's kind of like more scripted and I want to gear away from that. And so I was thinking of shifting gears a little bit and recording like the interview process as like bloopers, you know what I mean? So it could be like fun like little tidbits and then like have the actual podcast as well. So I'm you're the guinea pig right now. Your first test run.
I love it. Good stuff.
But yeah. So yeah.
Let's do
Um
this.
let's do this.
Do it.
All right. I don't have any introduction prepared. I used to. I don't like it anymore. I feel like it's just too much. So I'm just going to give it away. Hey guys. Welcome to another excellent episode of Gandie Slays. I'm your host, as always, Gandie. And today I am very honored to have my guest, Michael Brown, with me. And we are going to just chop some shit up and talk about whatever comes to mind today.
About life and all that good
Uh,
stuff. Life and yes.
yeah. And I mean, I would love it if you gave our audience a little bit of input as to like who you are, and then maybe we can figure something out from that.
Absolutely. So it's pronounced Gandhi.
Yeah.
Gandhi, I appreciate you having me on. My name is Michael Brown. I'm a counselor, an educator, and an author, and I'm passionate about helping people. And I appreciate the invite. And hey, let's roll our sleeves up and help out as many people as we can through some good conversation.
Right. Like I like I was telling you a little bit earlier, like the point of this podcast for me is to discuss like the messy parts of life. Like, I mean, having successes and accomplishments, that's all grand and everything, but like I don't feel like people really ever want to talk about like how shitty and fucked up shit can get. And that's kind of where I want to like touch base on a little bit and just like, I don't know, just go through that and talk about like the time that you were walking around outside and it started to rain and you were waiting for the bus and then you stepped in dog shit and then like, but some way, somehow you managed to find your way home.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier, Gandhi, about, how you came to this podcast, right? And I don't, you certainly feel free to share however much or as little as you want. But you said something that really stood out to me, and just something that you talked about is how you needed to reposition yourself. And
Yeah.
so many people, I think, can relate to that in life, right? This whole idea of, um, when they look around and they see themselves in a space in life, and there's often a question that they ask: "How did I get here?" Right?
Yes, yes.
Because and it's okay. That's a great question to ask, because once we ask ourselves, "How did I get here?" That can remind us that we don't have to stay there, right? That
Yes,
we're
I love
all on
that.
a path moving towards some. We're all human beings trying to live our lives, and you're spot on. It's okay to not have it all figured out. But what
Right.
I'd say is not okay is not wanting to have it figured out, or not wanting to improve. And
Yeah,
you shared a little bit about your story, and I think it's a powerful one, because we all are going to go through some adversity in life. We're all going to experience some challenges. But if we're willing to improve ourselves and work on ourselves, there's help and there's hope.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and like I can't stress this enough. Like even in my worst days, there's always been resources out there. They might not have been the resources I wanted at the time, but like it was what I needed. And just being able to have that help and even just somebody, even sometimes just having a stranger walk by and say hi can like make the day so
That's right.
much better.
That's right. That's right.
And like you just I know for me, I feel like I sound so cheesy when I say this, but it holds true. I have a gratitude list that I rattle off to myself every morning when I wake up. I tell myself what I'm grateful for, what I want to accomplish that day. And I give myself 5 positive affirmations just to put myself in a better mood and get my confidence boosted and just like be mindful with myself and check in with
Yes.
myself and see how I'm feeling for that day.
No, that is so good. And that's a very important and powerful discipline, right? To think about what it is that we're thankful for each day, because even in the midst of whatever we're going through, right? There's always something that we can be thankful for. There's always something that we should be thankful for. And gratitude is a great way to do it. Another thing that's good is a morning mantra.
Yeah.
To have a mantra, to have a mindset of how we want to attack the day versus the day just attacking us, right? So
Right.
gratitude is important. Journaling is good,
Yes.
to get out our thoughts and our feelings. And goal setting, I call it mental mapping.
I like
Where
that.
am I? Where do I want to go? And how am I going to get there? Where are my detours? Where do I need to refuel? Where are my exit ramps? Who can I call for help if I need help? And somebody maybe out there listening right now, Gandhi, who's struggling in life. And I think it's important to remind them, right? To look for what's good, to create a mental map. Because before we get on the road, right, it's good to have a roadmap.
Yes, it
And
is.
where am I in life? Where do I want to go? And what do I need to do to get there? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Get out those dream boards, ladies and gentlemen.
And sometimes we just got to really step out on faith, because that's where the fruit is out on the limb. Sometimes we play it too
Yes.
safe. The fruit is out on the limb. And sometimes we just got to position ourselves to say, you know what? Maybe somebody's dealing with a mental health issue, whether anxiety or depression or some type of mood disorder. And we know there's a lot of layers and complex things that can go into that and unpacking that, particularly if somebody's dealt with a certain amount of trauma, or pain or setbacks. But that's where we get help. And it's okay to ask for help, whether it's
Yes.
through a therapist, through coaches, mentors. There are people that can help us navigate on our roadmap.
Yeah. And even if it's just an animal, like a cat, dog,
That's right.
whatever, whatever you need to use as your vice to get those bad feelings out, like go for it.
Yeah. As long right, whatever you need, as long as it's constructive versus
Yeah.
destructive, right?
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah, it's
we
true.
don't want to make the problem worse.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everybody needs to decide what that is. What's a part of my recovery plan, right?
Mhm.
Is what's going to help me? What's going to hurt me? What do I need to move more towards? What do I need to stay away from? And I commend you, Gandie, for starting this podcast because there are going to be people that you're going to be able to reach that others won't reach. And you shared a little bit with me before, and you talked a little bit about some of your challenges towards doing this. And I encourage you to be one of your biggest and best cheerleaders, not just your own worst critic.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah, it's
there's certain
hard.
people you're going to be able to reach that others won't be able to reach. And
Yeah.
sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves, but I think we need to give ourselves grace and
Yes.
also be positive and complimentary of ourselves.
I agree. I have been told in the past that I am too optimistic at times.
Hey, optimism is a powerful thing. It's a powerful
Yeah.
tool, man. Yeah,
But no, I mean, I've divulged, on, like, past episodes or, like, bits and pieces of my story and, some of my life. Like, I didn't tell you, before we hopped on. I'm also in recovery. I will have 5 years clean on my birthday on the 26th.
congratulations,
And
congratulations.
yeah.
That's
And,
awesome.
yeah, and, like, I'm going to 2 different well, 1 community college and then a university, for school right now. I'm going for cybersecurity, and I'm
Awesome.
going to an AI taught school, being taught by an AI chatbot,
Wow.
learning about AI.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
AI is where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. I love
And that is
it.
awesome. That is so awesome. And for you to be in recovery and to be positioning yourself for what's next. That's awesome and it's inspirational. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, I'll be honest, I was always kinda like that wallflower growing up, you know what I mean? Like, everybody knew who I was, but I didn't really have friends. They were never no, none of them were my friends. I might have been their friends, but they weren't my friends.
Yeah.
And, like, I got into fights a lot. Like, I am originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so I have a white mom. I'm part Black. My dad's Black, my mom's white, and I used to get jumped when I lived in
Wow.
Florida because I had a white mom, and then when I came up here, I used to get bullied because I was one of the 3 Black kids in the entire school.
Wow. Wow.
So, like, it was just it was rough. It was at times. And I just like I'm so grateful that I have the mentality that I do at times because there's been I'm not gonna lie, there's been times that I've tried to commit suicide and failed. Thank God.
Thank God.
But like it's been a rough start and I finally feel like I'm at a good point in my life that like I can reflect on these things and not be upset about them anymore and actually learn from my mistakes and other people's mistakes. And it's such a fulfilling and satisfying feeling.
What helped turn the corner for you?
Um so my this is what like really started getting me to appreciate life. So I was dating this guy, John, I won't say his
Yeah,
last name. It
his
doesn't
last
matter.
name
Yeah.
shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. He
Right.
died of a brain aneurysm when we were together. We were engaged and I was still getting high at the time. And I went to go take a nap and when I woke up I found him slumped over in the chair in the living room. And it just really hit me that life is so precious and beautiful. And we really don't like have any control over when we die, how we're gonna die, any of that stuff. And why am I sitting here wasting my life shooting heroin and meth when like I can be doing something productive and be with my family and become a real person? Because
It was
like
your
that's
wake up call, huh?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It was, and, like, my first goal getting sober, was to be a real person. Because like,
Mm,
I felt like I was just, like, a shell of a being, like, I didn't feel anything, I didn't nothing gave me pleasure, I was just, like, unamused by life.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
In all senses of it, and, like, that was my wake-up call, and it just made me realize, like, I have a life.
Yes.
I should live that life to the
Absolutely.
fullest.
Absolutely.
That's what I started doing. I started like watching YouTube videos and talking with like family and stuff like that, trying to figure out like what it even means to be an adult, what it means to be a woman, what it means to be in recovery. Like I just started learning everything about being a human
Did you go to therapy?
oh, I'm still in therapy. Yeah, I
Awesome,
love
awesome.
therapy.
Yeah.
I love it. My last therapist, her name was actually Rustin Paradise.
Wow, quite a name.
Yeah. Yeah. She was really cool.
What would you
Um,
say to someone who finds himself in a similar position? Maybe they're at the end of their rope and they're contemplating ending it all. Maybe they feel no sense of hope or no sense of purpose. What would you tell them today?
would tell them to call me, hit me up, find me, get my information,
Yeah,
and
there
like
you
I will
go.
be your friend. If
Wow,
you
that's
need to
awesome.
call me at like 1 a.m., whatever, 5 a.m., I would like we might live in different states, but like if you need me, I will Greyhound, I will get a car, like I will come and find you and make sure and
That's just
baby
how you
you, or
roll.
you can come to my house. Yeah,
That's
like
just
you
how
can
you
come stay with
roll.
me. Like, yeah, seriously, because I mean, I know that feeling and that shit sucks. And you can't, I mean, some people, kudos to them who could do it alone, but like I wasn't able to. And like, I know what that's like, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
And one of your first steps was to
My first step was to call my mom and admit that, like, I was fucking up, that, like, I had a problem, coming to terms with the fact that, like, I wasn't okay, and that, like, that yeah, that pretty much that I was living a life that was not what I wanted to be living.
yeah,
Um,
that is so powerful. And I think for our listeners, right,
yeah.
one of the first steps towards recovery is acknowledgement,
Yes.
awareness, to first say
Yeah.
we have a problem. And from that awareness, then we can humble ourselves and get help. And I'm so proud of you, Danny, for doing that. And what's so cool about it is that you've decided to help others
Yeah.
and be a go-to person for others and deal with that messy middle. Because yeah, we look at people sometimes and they look so polished and they look so arrived and they look so accomplished as if they never had an issue. But the truth of the
Right.
matter is that, right, we've all got some problems. We have all got some adversity. Mine might not look like yours. Yours might not look like the person's down the street. But to every life, some rain must fall,
Right,
right?
I like
And there's
that.
no detours when it comes to let me say there on the road to success, right? Sometimes we gotta pull over and take the exit ramp
Mhm.
and refuel
Mhm.
and recharge. And for you to be going through it, to be in recovery and the willingness to help others, that's what it's about.
Mhm.
That's what it's all about. To know that there's
Yeah.
others, right, who might find
Yeah.
themselves in a similar position, to let them know
Mhm.
that there is hope. You can recover. You can bounce back. Your life has purpose. Your life has
Yes.
value. Your life has
Yes.
meaning. You know, I'm a believer and I believe that God created us all with a purpose, on purpose. Think about it. You know, the whole idea that of all the sperm in the world, all the eggs in the world, that only about 8 billion of us hit the lottery. That
For
mom and
sure.
dad connected. And you know, right, 28 weeks later after they connected, you made your grand entrance, right? And we're all unique. And after that grand arrival, there are no mistakes when it comes to people. The circumstances of us getting here might not have been most favorable.
Mhm.
And to look at what you talked
Mhm.
about, and a lot of people can relate to that idea, right? Or maybe not fitting in. Or somebody saying
Yeah.
this skin color is not as important, or this ethnicity is not. You're not this, or you're not that. There's so many people who can be in our ear telling us what we are and what we aren't.
Right.
But once we start to decide for ourselves who we are and what we're not and where we want to go, things happen, things
Mhm.
change. We can get through bullying, right? We can get through teasing. We can get through addiction
Yes.
with a game plan and with
Mhm.
intentionality and with purpose. So
Right.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I know this sounds cheesy, but like seriously, for anybody who's listening and watching, like if nobody's told you today, I love you and I think you're absolutely perfect. You're beautiful and amazing the
Awesome.
way you are. No matter
Amen.
how weird you may think you are or awkward, like we all are. And I'm here for you.
I love that. I love that. Amen to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have, like, anything that you wanna, get out there or any nuggets you wanna pour on?
Yeah, one thing I would say is, when it comes to our wellness and happiness, that it's important to look at some different aspects of our life. Our mental health, our physical health, our emotional and spiritual health. What are we doing for our mind to learn, to grow, to challenge our mentality, our intellectual ability, right? I think it's important to be lifelong learners,
Yes.
right? To never stop learning, to push ourselves, to encourage ourselves, to challenge ourselves mentally, to think about our pursuits academically, intellectually, our physical health, right? To take care of our physical bodies, what goes in, how we treat ourselves, working out, having good habits, and our spiritual, our emotional health. What are we doing for that part of ourselves that we can't touch? Our soul, our spirit, right? That feeds that in a positive way, whether through our faith or through communing in nature or service to others. Yeah, I would just remind the listeners to invest in all three: your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual, emotional health.
Yeah, and I agree. Cause, like, I mean, sometimes it gets hard. It does, trying to do a balancing act, and, like, sometimes you put more energy into other areas and when you need to put it into, like, a specific place, and, like,
Right.
I know what works best for me. Like, I mean, this mainly applies to, like, work-life balance, but it could apply to anything. I like to do an hour on and then 15 minutes off.
Mm,
So, like, I will sit there, knock shit out for like an hour, and then give myself like a 15-minute break, whether it's getting a snack, doing some
yeah.
self care, whatever it may be, something that interests me for that 15 minutes and makes me feel better. And then get back to the work.
No, that's
And
good. That's
yeah,
very good. Yeah, we need those breaks, right, to recharge, to re-engage, and retool. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's funny too, cause I mean, I was just, like I was telling you that my sister just bought her first house in West Virginia, and, I'm so proud of her, but I was crying the entire time we were there, and on the ride back home,
Why is
I
that?
was just bawling my eyes out, cause, like, she's 7 years younger than me, and, like, this girl has known her whole life before she even came out the womb. Like, she knew she wanted to be a nurse delivering babies. She knew she wanted to, like, it's the first guy she ever got with and lost her virginity to. She's still with him. They're about to get married. Like, she set a goal and she stuck to it her whole life. Like, she's living her American dream right now. And I'm so proud of her. But, like, I just felt like kind of like a loser a little bit because like I said, I'm in my rediscovery phase, like, now. I'm about to be 30, and I still don't know what I want in life. Like, I
But you
got, like, an
know you want something though, right?
Right, right,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, no, I have dreams and aspirations,
absolutely.
like,
Yeah,
I don't wanna have kids, but I still wanna leave a legacy in some shape or form. So that's kind of what I've been, like, trying to mule over, and I guess maybe this podcast could be a part of that.
absolutely.
Um, but,
You
like,
know,
yeah.
no, that's you talk about something that's important. When we look at others succeed and thrive and flourish, obviously, right? With people you
Mhm.
love, we wanna encourage them and celebrate them, and that's awesome what your sister is doing, right?
Yeah.
And it can cause us to look at ourselves and think about choices we've made or opportunities that we feel like we've missed. But
Mhm.
Gandhi, there's a Chinese proverb that I really love that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
I like
And
that.
sometimes we got to go through some things in life that is going to teach us something.
Yeah.
And maybe we didn't need that lesson the way we went through it, right? We wouldn't encourage maybe some other great others to go and have to experience some of the setback or the heartaches that we've experienced.
Right.
But the fact that you got through it and you came out of it shows that there's still purpose, there's still value, there's still meaning. And I don't know who I'm
Right.
talking to right now as far as listeners are concerned, but I want to encourage you to forgive yourself.
Yes. Mhm.
Maybe you need to also forgive others
Yeah.
Not to excuse our behavior, but sometimes if you've gone through trauma or pain or difficulty, you didn't ask for that trauma. You didn't ask for that pain. You didn't
Right.
ask for that difficulty.
Mhm.
So it might not have been your fault, but it is your responsibility to respond.
Right.
And we get to choose every day. How are we going to respond? Are we going
Mhm.
to hold on to unforgiveness of ourselves or others? Are we going to give forgiveness and give grace? Forgiveness
Mhm.
does not mean what they did was right. Forgiveness says, I'm not going to be held bondage by what you did.
Right.
I'm going to forgive so that I can be free. We're going to forgive
Exactly.
and let go. And
Mhm.
again, some pain and some trauma can be so deep and so hurtful that we may be thinking, how could I ever forgive? Or how could I ever let it go? And that's where you might lean into your faith and say, God, help me to forgive. Because when we forgive, well, let me put it this way. Sometimes we need to forgive others because we're going to need forgiveness for ourselves.
Yes.
And if we've ever made a mistake, and we all have, right? Made some mistakes,
Mhm.
the same forgiveness we're going to need to give to someone else, we're going to need that to be a recipient at some point as well.
Right.
So it's okay to forgive yourself. It doesn't mean we're not going to still feel the sting of maybe a missed opportunity,
Mhm.
or some people may be dealing with some guilt or some shame, or dealing with what we talked about earlier, right, Gandhi, of how did I get here? This was not the plan, right?
Right.
You know? Well, it might not have been a plan, but we can retool. We can pick up
Yes.
the pieces. Matter of fact, Gandhi, we can pick up the pieces so strongly
Mhm.
that people who've gone through adversity will make up so definitively in their mind. They can become so driven to become better and towards success that they will use their pain and their setback as fuel.
Mhm.
The difficulty now becomes fuel to say, lesson learned, not
Mhm.
going back there again.
Yes.
And I'm motivated, I'm inspired to accomplish and achieve that which is set out for me.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
You're absolutely correct.
Yes,
I love
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
Mic drop.
Yes. We're going to turn pain into jet fuel. We use the pain, we use the difficulty now as fuel. I like the way one of my friends and colleagues said, he says, we ought to use our pain as our best friend. Yeah, but we use it
Yes.
because of the pain. We channel that energy into something positive.
Mhm.
Take the negative and try to and flip it into positive. It
Mhm.
wasn't
Right.
good, but I'm going to use it for good.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
so true.
yes.
Oh, man. Well,
You've got
I
such
mean
a bubbly personality.
thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying
Yes,
this episode and talking about this stuff, like,
I'm enjoying this as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Some people
I
just need to hear good news, right, Gandhi?
right,
They just
right.
need we just need to know that it's okay. Yeah.
Yes,
That life hey, look, that life is still worth living.
it is. It is.
And if there's still breath in your body, that means there's still something for you to do.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and I just wanna, like, note on the fact too, like, don't be ashamed to feel your feelings,
Mm,
and, like, don't ever let anybody try to tell you how you feel,
that's
because
right.
only you know how you feel, and,
That's
like,
right.
you know why you're feeling the way you feel, and, other people should not dictate that at all. I
Yeah.
allowed that to happen
Yeah.
recently,
Yeah.
and it, like,
Very good point.
it's you'll go insane trying to appease somebody, just
Right.
lying to yourself when, like, you know,
Like I said,
this is
I'm
how
not
you truly
sad.
feel.
I'm not sad. I'm not hurt.
Right.
No, it's okay to say this
Yeah.
sucks or
Like,
this
yeah.
hurts or I'm
Right.
frustrated or
Right.
I feel great.
Yes.
And that's an important point you made because optimism, hope, grace, all of that, right, is strongly recommended. At the same time, it's okay to sit with our feelings
Mhm.
and allow ourselves to feel however we need to feel.
Yes.
I've been working with some folks here recently who, are dealing with grief. We all are gonna
Oof.
experience some grief, right? You know, with loved
Yeah.
ones maybe
Mhm.
transitioning or passing away. And I think one of the best ways to navigate grief is to allow ourselves to grieve.
Yes.
The good news is we don't have to grieve, though, a hopeless grief.
That's true.
We can grieve and still know that there is hope
Mhm,
for us and hope for those who've transitioned to know, right, that their impact, their legacy
mhm.
can live on with us. And Gandhi, through your podcast here and through your testimony, you're creating quite a legacy yourself to be a
Yeah,
person,
thank
to be a
you.
go-to person that stepped out on faith and said, "Hey, let me start a podcast. Let me just start having some conversations and see where it goes." Good things
Yeah.
flow from people who are willing to step out on faith without all the answers,
Right.
right? Without, because it's easy if you got all the answers and we got it all figured out. But sometimes, you know, stepping out on faith, I think it was Dr. King who said, you know, stepping out on faith is like walking down a staircase with the lights out, right?
Oh, that's
You
scary.
you know the stair, but you know the steps are there,
Yeah.
but you just can't see them.
Yeah.
And
I'm
sometimes in
terrified of the
life, right,
dark.
we just gotta step out
Yeah.
knowing and believing that the steps
Mhm.
are there.
Yes.
Uh, yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
We can, Gandhi, we
Mhm.
can lose a lot of things in life.
Mhm. Mhm.
We may lose a lot of things in life. One
Yeah.
thing I don't think we can afford to lose is our faith and our belief.
Yes.
Gotta
I
keep
agree.
believing and gotta keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Because once you lose, like, hope and faith,
Then what are we
it's
doing? Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
it is rough. It is. It is. But, like, I don't know. Just I don't know. Sometimes just you gotta, like, be in the moment, like, go watch the sunrise for a second. Maybe you haven't, like, ate a certain meal in a while. Try that out. Maybe you used to like painting or drawing or
Yes,
playing
yes, yes.
an instrument and you haven't touched that in a while. Go do it. Like, just it might feel awkward at first. I mean, I know it definitely did for me when I tried to do things that I used to do, and, like, it'll feel weird. I promise it will, but,
It's like,
like,
see,
you'll get through
it's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that, like, seeing an adult, like, break
it.
out their coloring book. I love that.
Yeah.
Right? Get back to
Yes.
your happy place when you were 4 years old, where
Right.
because that's the thing, that's the beauty of children, right? Children are gonna do oftentimes what just feels good and it's natural.
Yes.
Sometimes as adults, people try to talk you out of doing that and telling you stop
Mhm.
acting like a child.
Right.
Sometimes you just need to get back to that childlike place. And you hit the nail
Mhm.
right on the head again.
Yes.
Sometimes we need to
Mhm.
just get back to doing some stuff that
Mhm.
we enjoyed,
Mhm.
doing in the past
Right.
and appreciating what some people would call the simple things in life. You're right.
Yeah.
Just watching the sun come out, just getting a drink of water.
Yes.
The water's free,
Yes.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what they say, right? In many ways, the best things in life are free.
I don't wanna I
Having a conversation on a podcast.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, and I'm having a blast. I was gonna say something rude, but I don't wanna lose viewers.
Yeah, yeah. Let's keep it. Let's keep our viewership. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it
Yeah.
copacetic today.
Yeah. But, man, uh, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, life is beautiful. That's all I got. That's
It
all I got.
is. It sure is. It sure is. It sure is. And every day is a blessing and an opportunity
Yeah.
to get better, to be better, and do better. Yeah.
Right. And, um, well, I don't know, do you have any, like, other comments or anything else
No,
you'd
I'm
like
good. I think we've covered
okay.
a lot. I appreciate you
Yeah.
having me on. I've enjoyed this. Yeah.
Yeah, this has been fun, and if you wanna come back, you're more than welcome to. Do you have any items you wanna promote?
Hey,
You
let's
wanna
make
promote yourself, get yourself out there? Any books? Your own
Oh,
YouTube
well,
channel,
I'm not hard to
podcast?
find. Yeah, I'm not hard to find. If anybody wants to connect with me online, I do trainings, I do consulting work. I'm a therapist. So yeah, if anybody wants to connect with me, they can Google me, Michael T. Brown. Not hard to find. I'm on X at MT Brown 98, LinkedIn. all that good stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and
And
I'll make
my
sure to put
website, brownsleadership.com. And I got a book for sale if they wanted to learn more
oh,
about my
oh.
book. So yeah. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll make sure to have all that information in the description, so you guys can find him and connect with him if you choose to do so. But yeah, it's been another wonderful episode of Gandie Slays. I'm your host, Gandie, and this has been my guest, Michael T. Brown, and we're out this bitch. Don't forget to like
We're
and
out.
subscribe.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
The fight, I'm screaming, I'm singing from darkness.